Hello, neighbors and friends. Happy Monday. If you have been following the saga of my filter situation on Instagram, you'll know that for some reason, I guess because I have an Android phone, Instagram will not let me change my filters. So I can't find a filter that will mirror things, so I unfortunately can't let you guys read what I have, so I'm sorry for that. And I'm also really tired. We went out of town for the weekend for my birthday. It was my birthday. And so just pardon me if I'm a little slow tonight. Yeah, we've got a pretty slow agenda for tomorrow. But we do, again, in our work session, this is really just leading up to our budget season. We do have some more presentations ahead of like budget workshops that are going to take up most of our work session time. So the first presentation we'll be having is from Alicia Donahue, who is our court clerk, on the court goals and where, they are in progress on meeting those goals and, what's still outstanding. We also have a presentation on police department goals. Same thing, just where we are in progress on those goals and, leading up to budget season, what might be things that they are thinking about requesting for this next year's budget. Item number 3 is just an after-action winter weather report from our Public Works Director. This was supposed to be at our last meeting, but we ran out of time. So hopefully he'll get to present on that because they did a lot of really great work. Our Public Works team did preparing for inclement weather. Just to let you guys know, I did hear some things, that people were like, oh, you didn't salt my road or whatever, but we can't salt every road. But they had a list of all of the roads that they did go around and maintenance and take care of, and it was quite a lot. So if you're interested in that and what that might look like in the future, I don't know if that's going to happen this week. I haven't really kept up with the weather, but tune in for that. That's just work session. And then item number 4, we have a discussion from Mr. Graby, Jeffrey Graby, who is our Parks and Rec manager. He's going to be talking with us about his intent to apply for what's called a Project Diabetes grant. So for this particular grant, you actually have to submit a letter with your intent to apply. Then they evaluate your letter, what you want to apply for the grant for, and then they invite you to apply if they like your letter of intent. But so this isn't a formal vote that we have to do. We don't actually have to do a vote until they invite us to apply, and then we actually apply for the grant. But Mr. Graby just wanted to talk to us about those details. I don't want to steal all of his thunder, but I'm really excited because this grant, I think, could fully fund development of trails and other amenities at what's called Godsea's Ridge, which is across from where our community center is on Tom Weathers Drive. So that like whole wooded area up behind the swimming pool, that's, I can't remember right now, I think it's like 18 or 19 acres, but the city has owned that for decades. And actually what's really funny is one of my dear friends went to an estate sale recently and got like a huge binder where somebody had kept newspaper clippings and minutes from Red Bank City Commission meetings for about, I think it was like 5 years in the 60s. And what was really cool is one of those newspaper clippings was literally talking about them in the 60s wanting to develop Godsea's Ridge into what we are applying for this grant to do today. So they actually talked about it, and it was part of the original, like the National Park Service grant, but they ended up chopping it out because they didn't want to pay their matching funds to go toward that development. So I think there's just been a lot of like hiccups along the way. But I'm really excited to talk about this and hear from Jeffrey on more of those details. And hopefully they will invite us to apply for the grant after he sends this letter in. Item number 5 is a Traffic Garden Memorandum of Understanding with White Oak Bicycle Co-op. So they reached out to the city, talked with staff about seeing if they could get permission. So if you guys know where we bought that plot of land up by the B&B discount store, and it's like that big flat area next to the fire department. And then there's like that little strip of road that connects between our fire department into the B&B discount parking lot. And then the wooded area behind it is also part of the property that we purchased. But that little strip of road, White Oak Bicycle Co-op was wanting to do what's called a traffic garden, which is where they paint like roads and things like roads, mini roads on the pavement, and they use it for educational purposes for teaching kids how to ride bikes, how to ride them safely on roadways, how to, respond to signage and things like that. I talked with a couple of our staff, and they even had discussed potentially in the future maybe installing some semi-permanent features. I don't know what that would look like curbs or ramps or I don't know, something like that. But they would be using it for free education programming to the public. But then when they weren't using it, then anybody could go and like take their kid and ride around on it. So it's pretty cool. Just like a little amenity, and they're going to be painting it all and doing all of the work themselves. So just a very cool little thing. So we'll be voting on that tomorrow. Jeffrey is going to be presenting on Parks and Rec master plan goals updates if we get to it. I quite honestly don't know that we will. An hour is generally not long enough in a work session for us to have multiple discussions about multiple departmental goals. But we will do our best. And if he doesn't get to present tomorrow, then we'll move it out to March. Item number 7 is authorizing a grant application for the T-Mobile Hometown Grants. This specifically is for us to apply for a $50,000 non-matching grant that would go toward a public art installation. So this specifically, the public art installation is hopefully going to go on the retaining wall that's at the corner of Morrison Springs Road in Dayton Boulevard. It's that slip lane. Like if you're turning from Dayton Boulevard onto Morrison Springs Road, it's that retaining wall that's under the Cumberland Presbyterian Church that's up on the hill. We own that. They're working on getting it sealed properly and everything for a mural to be able to go there. But the $50,000 grant will go a very, very long way toward us getting that mural started. And there's nothing determined about it yet. There's no theme. There's no application that's been put out for artists, no call for artists or anything like that. We have to try to get some funding first. So once we get some funding, then those other pieces can come. But I'm really excited because the only other voting item that we have tomorrow, so I'll go ahead and mention that one, is accepting a grant award from the Red Bank and Soddy Daisy Charitable Foundation for $21,000. So they award us a grant, and Soddy Daisy, the city of Soddy Daisy, a grant every year. This is a charitable organization that started many decades ago when the Red Bank Hospital closed down. And so what they have decided this year they want to help us with is contributing $21,000, $14,000 of which would go toward the mural project on that retaining wall at Morrison Springs Road, and then $7,000 of it would go toward a mural project at the restroom facility at Kids Corner Playground, so like on the back side of it. So we have already put out a call for artists on that. We just need funding for supplies and to pay the artist. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. We are applying for all these really great grants that are hopefully, will help us make progress on some really cool things in our community. But also adding public art to our community has long been desired by residents here. And so I'm really excited that we're making moves there. And also, you know, just doing really cool things with the nonprofits that reside in our community and are helping us out. Don't know how like federal funding is going to be working for the foreseeable future. I don't know. It's like something new every day, guys. I don't even know, but we're just going to keep applying where we can and budgeting for things when we are assured that we're going to get funding and hope for the best. So that's it. That's all we got on the agenda for tomorrow. And so if you guys don't have any questions, I'll let you go, and then see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock. For a work session, and then at 6 o'clock for a regular meeting. That's it. Okay. Good night. Have a good night.